Welcome to this first video for a 30-minute all-over body stretching routine. That's my little routine that I've been using for a while now. It works for me, so I hope you find it interesting. I'm not a professional. It's my first video. I haven't got any equipment, really, just a laptop. So the video's maybe not that great. There's not enough lighting, but we'll make it work. So just watch, and I'm going to be giving you some cues throughout. So yes, bear with me, please. Okay, so we're starting standing up, and we're going to start stretching the spine. So I want you to have soft knees. Join your hands and make yourselves really long. So you're pulling your hands and arms above your head. Your knees stay soft. Your core slightly engaged, and you're making yourself really nice and tall. Then we're going to move with our arms pulling away from us, dropping our chin into our chest, and we want to stretch between the shoulder blades, the upper back. So you're going to see my upper back is nice and rounded. That's why I'm feeling a stretch, and always breathing through the stretching movements. Then I'm placing my hands just over the solar plexus and keeping my elbows and wrists onto one straight line, as you can see, and here you can feel the stretch through the forearms and the three different positions I'm doing here, then pointing away from me, and then now here pointing down. This is really tough for me, but it's a great stretch for the forearms. Then I'm sort of stretching now for the other side of the forearm, so from the elbow to the wrist, keeping everything on one line. And again, I like to follow with a chest opening stretch. And here I'm pulling my fingertips as far back as I can. So here I'm opening my hands and my fingertips are going further and further back as far as I can. No rocking movement, just breathing through everything. And I like to do 2 rounds of everything. The first one is always a bit tight for me, so I like to just revisit every stretch. So again, we made ourselves really nice and long and tall, and here, putting the hands and arms away from the body, stretching the upper back, then going into the hands together, fingertips pointing upwards, and here I'm starting to feel the stretch on my forearms. This is the easiest of the 3 positions. This one becomes a little bit more challenging, as I'm sure you will feel. And then when we pull the fingertips towards the floor, that becomes quite tight. So I can't actually pull the fingertips all the way back towards the floor, but everybody's different. We all have different mobilities. Then I follow into wrist to wrist, and see the line, elbows and wrists on one line, and again feeling stretched there. Into the chest opener. So here the cue is really to fully push your fingertips towards the back of the room behind you and really feel the stretch. You're going to feel that through the wrist, from the wrist through to the chest. That's quite a good one. Okay, a few shoulder rolls, relax, and then we're going to do a tricep stretch. Oh, sorry, first a chest opener. So again, just chest and shoulder. So hands above the bum, and you're pulling your elbows in together as close as you can. Breathing through every movement, always. Now comes the tricep stretch. So I'm not very mobile around the shoulders, so I'm sure that you will be looking much more elegant than I do. But the idea is to just feel a stretch on the tricep. And then what I like to add is a side extension. So the long side here, I'm focusing on lengthening from my hip bone all the way through to my armpit, making that side really nice and long. Then we're going to go into a lateral shoulder stretch. So here the idea is to keep the shoulder really nice and low, and you're bringing here the arm close with your hand at the base of the elbow, and the extended arm is pushing away, pulling away from the body, and you feel a stretch on the side of the shoulder. A few shoulder rolls, always to try to decrease any tension you may get around the upper back. And so we're back with our tricep stretch. So you can see this shoulder is really bad for me. I don't have a lot of mobility on my left side, so you're supposed to be coming down much lower down with your hand. But that's the stretch I can get, so we're all different. Then I add my side bend, so the long side here I'm lengthening from the hip all the way to the armpit, straightening and lengthening that side. Again, then going back into the shoulder side, or the side of the shoulder, the lateral side, and my hand there, the extended arm, my hand is pulling away and without any rotation in the shoulders and the hips. So I'm really feeling the pull and the stretch along the side of the arm. Okay, just one I'd like to finish with also. We never stretch our arms enough, so arms and forearms. So I'm putting my fingers towards the midline of my body. And of course, that stretch is quite a basic one, but nice, good stretch for the arm. I'm always moving my head, and you're going to see me doing funny movements, but I'm always trying to get rid of the tensions around the neck and breathing throughout. You should never feel any sharp movement, any sharp pain when you're doing the stretch. So this is the neck stretch. So you're putting the palm of your hand towards the floor, and you're tilting your head towards the other side. As soon as you feel the stretch along the side of the neck, then bring your head down. You can't really see it, but I'm using just the fingertips and not my hand to pull down. Just the fingertips. It's like a really light pull down to make the stretch a little bigger. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Palm towards the floor, and then I'm tilting my head towards the other side. So I feel a stretch there, and as soon as I get that stretch, I can make it a little bigger by bringing my head down just with my fingertips. Breathing, I was mentioning the breathing. Always breathe through every stretching movement. You should never feel any sharp pain. If you do, then release the stretch and start again from a less intense position. So I'm doing a second round here. I really feel a difference when I do the second round. I can really go much further in the stretch, so that really works for me. And the routine is only 30 minutes, so I really recommend that you do the 2 rounds. The first one, especially when you're doing this new, you may not really feel the stretch, or you may not be sure. So doing it a second time makes you really connect with the stretching. Just take a little notice how my knees are always bent. You can't really see maybe from the distance, but always soft knees and breathing regularly throughout. So that's a really nice stretch for the side of the neck here. Trying to get tensions out. And a little shoulder roll and breathing, and I like to finish that again the way I start. So making myself really long, and just having to move around and make my spine as long as I can. And I'm keeping my shoulders down. You can't see because I've got a black top there, and shoulders stay down. Okay, so now we move to the floor, and we're going to focus on the posterior chain of muscles, so the back and the back of the legs, but we're going to be working pretty much everywhere too. So this one is really making yourselves as long as you can. So here I'm pushing my feet away from my body. It's like I want to go and touch the wall that's in front of me with my feet. And I'm doing the same with my hands. So I'm making myself as long as I can. And then I'm going to do it on alternate sides. So you can see my right arm is extending, and I'm actually pushing my left leg. So I'm doing this diagonal stretch. And then I change sides, so my arm is really making myself go as far as I can with my arm, trying to reach as far as I can, and then my right leg this time is pulling away from my body. So I'm doing this diagonal stretch, and you should really feel that working through your back. So making yourself as long as you can, pulling on one arm and pulling on the alternating leg. And then I'm going to change side. So always breathing. So here I'm going to use my left arm, and I'm pulling my left arm away from me. Again here, I don't know, most people will have their arm on the floor here, but I can't get there because of my shoulder. But that stretch works for me, and that's as far as I can go. That's good enough. Okay, so then we bring our feet into the floor, and we're going to give ourselves a lower back stretch. So wrapping your arms around your legs, just grabbing below the knee. And you see a little circular movement. It's like giving yourself a little massage on the mat, and it's nice and relaxing. Just regular breathing throughout, just feeling relaxed, and giving yourself a little TLC on your lower back there. And we're gonna work a lot on the back, and that's one of my problem areas. So, but most people do need a bit of care on that. So we're gonna start with the hips. And I like to do this hip opening movement. So we're crossing one leg over the other knee, and I'm just pushing here I'm using both arms. Depends on your flexibility and your strength, but for me, I need both arms to really open up my leg. And you feel the stretch there, the top of the thigh, the sort of hip area. Breathing, and once you get a good stretch, take a deep breath, and on the breath out, then you see if you can push a little further out. really working with the breath on stretching is really how that works. So changing side, you get into your position. I like to bring the foot that's on the floor, I like to bring it quite close to my bum, so it gives me a big angle to work with. I've been doing this stretch for a while now, so you can adjust the position of your foot on the floor if you want not so much of an intense angle. Then you can push your foot away from your bum, and then the stretch becomes a little softer. So again, I do my 2 rounds, and really breathing in here, and then I'm pushing out and breathing out. So really breathing is vital in stretching. Once you get to a good stretch position, then hold it and take another deep breath in, and then on the breath out, see if you can push a little further. And we change side again last time. So breathing in, then I'm breathing out, and I'm getting to that first stretch position. Now I've got it, I'm placing my second cycle breath, breathing in and breathing out, and I'm pushing a little further. Okay, so we're going to work next on just a little stretch. I mean, I like to use a lot of work on my back because I really need it. So I'm making myself again nice and tall and long, like we started. So I'm pulling my feet away and my hands away in opposite directions, just really lengthening myself, giving some space around my spine. And again, grabbing and giving yourself a lower back release, stretch. I do personally need a lot of care on my back, so I take a lot of time doing these, and it does release a lot of tension in the back. So I'm sure even if you have a strong back, you will benefit from that. Okay, so we're going to be working with the back of the leg next. I was losing the track here. I was sitting up and realized, no, that's not what I need to do. So we're working on hamstring next. This is quite a tough one for men, but even for women. It's the hamstring is the back of the thigh, so we don't stretch that enough. The idea here is to keep a really straight leg, really straight, and then I'm doing a little rotation with my foot, and that changes the tension and makes it a bit more challenging. And I'm feeling that through my calf muscle as well. So I do 4 rotations on one side, 4 rotations on the other side, and then I'm taking another deep breath, and you can see me bringing my leg a little closer. My hands have moved up towards my ankles, and I'm making the stretch a bit bigger. But check out my knee. My knee is still locked. I'm not bending the knee. If you're bending the knee, you're losing the stretch. I'm showing you here an alternative. If this is too difficult for you, then the first option I had was with my leg on the floor was straight. Now, if I'm bending my leg with my foot on the floor, this makes it a little easier. And here I'm using a resistance band, but you can use a towel and to bring your foot towards you. So here it's just an option for the people who find this stretch quite difficult to achieve. And you can see here my leg is perfectly straight. And for me, that's an easy angle because I've been working on this stretch for a few years now. But that's just the option. So now I'm going to go to my second round, and I'm just going to go back to my personal version, which will be with legs straight down on the floor. That's more intense. But I've been working lately a lot on my hips. I've had some injuries where I still carry a small injury, so I've got to work a lot on that. So breathing, rotating the foot gives you a different dimension on the stretch. But keep your leg in a straight line. Don't bend at the knee. If you can't reach very far, it doesn't matter, but the important thing is to keep your leg straight. And breathing in and really feeling the stretch. That's quite intense. For me, it works well. And releasing slowly, just no sharp movements, just bringing one leg down. Take your time to bring the other leg up. So again, I'm just taking my time to work my fingers towards where I can reach. It can be, it can be your calf muscle, it can be your ankles, it can be towards your foot, whatever suppleness you have. These rotations of the foot work really well, makes it a bit more difficult, and then I go into my second pull where I come a little closer, and a slow release, back on the floor. Okay. I'm going to be working next on the glutes. Okay, so that's your bum, and just folding one leg onto the opposite knee with the ankle, and then grabbing your knee with your hands, bringing the leg towards you. So here I'm stretching my right hand side. Okay, I'm showing you an alternative here. Some people like to unfold the leg and straighten it out and bring it closer. it does give you more angle and it becomes more intense. I'm not particularly a fan because this stretch is really tight for me. So the bent leg is good enough for me, but I'm just showing you this more advanced position here for especially ladies. Ladies are more supple than us guys, so that could be a good option. But again, breathing, and not feeling anything sharp, but you will feel that it's a tight pull. For me, this is the position I prefer: bent leg and hands below the knee, and then open up slowly. So everything that you do, just do it slowly. Don't rush. So again, folding the leg, ankle over the opposite knee. I'm grabbing my leg here, and I'm going to stay in this position here. I'm really feeling the pull already, and I'm placing my breath, and I'm breathing in, and on the breath out, I can see if I can come a little closer and make the stretch a little bigger. So really work with the breath. It's important. Try to check your alignment. I was just feeling here to see if my body was aligned, my hips and my knees. You want to make sure that you're in good alignment to stretch in the right line. And keep breathing and releasing slowly. So for me, that's a lot of work. I do take a little time in between. I don't rush my stretching routine. So I'm doing a second round. Again, just take your time. Feel the stretch here. I've come here closer already. Second round, I can work much deeper. The muscles, stretched already a bit. You can see I'm bringing it closer. You can't hear me breathe, but trust me, I'm using my breath with breathing out and pulling towards me. And it really works well. These we do a lot when as fitness people we use our legs a lot, and it's important to stretch our glutes. If our glutes are tight, they can start pulling. They will start pulling on your hips, and they can generate some lower back pain. So that's an easy fix. That sort of stretch is really good. So stay in the position. I'm always checking my alignment, and here what I'm actually doing, you can't see, but I'm pushing with my left elbow against my left knee. So I'm opening my leg. This is my bad side, as I normally call it. So I need an extra help here to open up my hip, and so I'm pushing with my left elbow against my left knee, and it really opens up that stretch, makes it more intense. Okay, I need a little lie down now. So again, like as we started, making myself really tall. I'm pushing my feet and my hands apart in opposite directions. Yeah, stroking the dog is not vital, but for me it helps me ground myself. So next, again, it's like hamstring. Oh no, sorry, I'm going to move into here the butterfly stretch. So this is a good one for our hips again. Nice hip opening exercise. So you bring your feet together, both of the feet together, as close to your body as you can. Really straight back. You can't see my back here, but it's really straight. I'm making myself as tall as I can, and I'm pushing with my elbows inside the leg, opening my legs as wide as I can. So you can find that quite challenging for a lot of people. We find it challenging. Using the breath, breathing out and pushing down with the elbows and making the stretch a little bigger. Then I'm readjusting and bringing my feet as close as I can again, and the reason it's called the butterfly stretch is it looks like little wings of butterflies flapping around. Yes, I know, I look super elegant doing that. It's obvious that it's called the butterfly stretch. So just nice and relaxed, small movement, don't go too big. And then I'm doing my second round. Just again, you see me adjusting my feet, so I'm trying to bring my feet closer to my body, making the stretch a little bigger. Always trying to work hard on the stretch, but staying comfortable and using your breath through that is vital. Okay, so just again going back to the mat, and this stretch is both for hamstring and hips, and for me it really challenges my lower back. So I'm starting really nice and tall. You saw me straightening my back, and then I'm reaching towards my straight leg. So I've got one leg that's bent with the foot touching the inside of my right leg, and my right leg is fully extended on the floor. And I try to reach as far as I can. For me, I've worked on this stretch for a while now, so I can reach towards my toe. Again, this is my challenging side, so I can't go as far as I would like to, but that's where I can go. And I'm placing some breaths, and I'm breathing in, when I feel a good stretch, and then I'm breathing out, and you see me here working my hands a little lower down towards my foot, so that means that I've gone a little further into that stretch. I'm working hard with my breathing and releasing. So we change side, so one leg is bent then on the floor with the ball of the foot. Oh yeah, this is Jeannie's dumbbell there, she's letting me use it, bless her. So the inside of the foot is connecting with the inside of the left leg. I'm straightening my back to start with, and then folding my body over. Here I can reach a little further than the other side. This is my better side because I got sort of tilted hips, so this is my easy grab. So just breathe. Once you get that stretch, place a deep breath, inhaling here, and on the exhaling part, you see if you can work your fingers a little further down, like I've just done now. And I like to keep the toes pulled towards me, so I use one hand on the foot and on the base of the foot if I can reach it, and the other hand pulls the toes towards me, makes the hamstring and the calf muscles stretch deeper. So second round, so this time the left leg is folded, straightening my back, I'm giving my dog a stroke as I go down there, but that's not essential. If you haven't got a dog, the stretch will work just the same. Breathing out, first stretch, get in that position, keep that back extended and focus on the breathing. Trying to see if you can go a little further with your breath and reaching out a little further with your fingers, wherever you can reach. Remember, it's all about you, it's not a competition, it doesn't matter where you can reach, the idea is to feel the stretch all the way and along the back of your leg, so you can feel the stretch from your calf muscle all the way to your hips. So I'm straightening, aligning my back, making myself tall when I start, and then I'm folding over. So second round is always good. As I said, I can work and reach a little deeper on the stretch. So place your breaths. Once you get that first stretch and you feel it, take a deep breath in, get ready for the next stretch out, and on the breath out, see if you can reach a little further with your fingers and your hands, making that stretch a little bigger. And then release and slow transition. You can see I'm not doing like a yoga routine, I'm just, my transitions are not there to be made attractive or flowing into one movement. I'm just doing what feels right for me. And I'm just going back into the butterfly position. After that, I feel the need to sort of again do a little hip opener, and you can see me flapping my wings there like a beautiful butterfly. Amazing in this lovely March, spring in rainy Spain. Let's use our imagination. The sun is shining, butterflies are out there. So, and I'm pushing and opening the hips. So, what have we got next? Okay, we're going to move over and we're going to start working on the hip flexors. So again, important stretch, this one for, if you're running, but if you're doing any fitness exercise. So here the idea is to stretch the my right side, so the right hip flexor. So check out, my left leg is at 90 degrees, my knee is over my ankle and no further. I'm resting my body on that bent leg. I'm using the easy option there to show you, which is with the knee on the floor, and again just working with your breath. Then we rotate into an adductor stretch. So again, I'm putting here what I'm showing you here, the inside of the leg. So both feet stay on the floor. My left leg is still at 90 degrees. My knee is still over my ankle. That's your safety. You don't want your knee to go over your foot. Okay, slow transition, and we're gonna flip side, and I'm gonna show you this time the more advanced position where your knee will be off the floor. So you have to stay with the right leg in the same position as before. So knee at 90 degrees. I'm resting my elbow and arms on that bent leg, and my left leg this time is straight and the knees on the floor, and I'm stretching my my left hip flexor here. Then I'm going to rotate around and go into my adductor stretch. So again, if you check out my position here, my right leg, or the left one on the screen, is bent at 90 degrees, and the other leg is really straight, and I'm stretching just there, yeah, from knee to hip. So just adjust, make sure there's no sharp pain, and you feel comfortable in the movement. Okay, second round, and I'm going to add a little sort of more challenging option here for people who are a bit more supple or find this option quite doable. So you get into the straight leg, and we're going to straighten up our right arm. So the right hip is what we're stretching, and I'm lifting my right arm. You can't see it's out of the shot, but my right arm is lifting above my head. And what I'm doing here is I'm also doing a little tilt. So once I've got my arm extended, I'm tilting towards the left, and I'm basically stretching my hip flexors all the way into the lower part of my abdominals. So that's a really good stretch, making it work harder, making it a bit more intense. Okay, and again, straight leg for the adductor, and I'm putting both hands on the floor. I can go a little further like this, so second round I can go a little more, a little deeper into the stretch. Okay, so I'm changing side, but same thing here. So round 2 for my left hip flexor. So trying to keep your leg straight, you're pulling down, and I'm lifting my arm here, and there already I'm feeling the stretch a little more, and all of a sudden I'm going to tilt here. You can't see the angle, but I'm tilting and I'm breathing hard. I'm tilting to the right, making my left hip flexor and lower abdominal really stretch. Okay, then we're going to release the lower back a little bit, and just relaxing, going to the child pose. If you can sit your bum onto your heels, then do it. For me, I can't actually get there. I can't reach that, but as I say, it doesn't matter. I still feel the stretch in my lower back. Then really place your palms flat down on the floor, and you're actually pushing the palm of your hands into the floor, and you're gonna open up the shoulder blades. That's going to be a great stretch. So you're stretching lower back, but also your upper back. From there, I like to go into well, some people call that the downward facing dog, but as I don't do yoga, I'm not going to use that name. For me, it's like a great calf stretch and hamstring stretch. But yeah, it is a downward facing dog. Maybe badly executed by myself, but the idea is to really feel the stretch. So your heels, the heel of your feet are in contact with the floor. Again, I go back to the child's pose, and I'm giving you another option here with this time your hands by the side of your feet, so that relaxes your shoulders a lot, and it's a great back relaxer, this one. And from there, we're going to go back again to our downward facing dog. So just breathing here, staying there a few seconds. For every stretch, really try to hold it for 10 seconds is really the minimum, but I like to stay there about 15, sometimes 20 seconds. Just see how you feel. Some parts of the body you need to stretch more than others. We're all different, so but at least around 15 seconds is good. So here, straight leg, bum in the air, and your head is going like within or between your arms as much as you can. Okay, so we're going to be doing this quadriceps stretch, which is one that we normally do standing up, so you'll all be familiar with it, but doing it on the floor for me is much more intense. So I'm grabbing at my ankle and not my foot, and I'm bringing my leg towards my bum, so my heel is in contact with the bum, if you can. If you can't, it doesn't matter. The idea is that you feel the stretch in the front of your thigh. That's your quadriceps muscle. Breathing, again, just placing your breaths, and once you feel a good stretch, deep breath in, and on the breath out, you're going to pull a little closer if you can, making the stretch a little bigger. Slow release of the leg, and go for the other side. And again, just readjusting your body slightly. I mean, I was there, and just making sure that your body is aligned, so your knees are aligned with your hips, and you're not twisted. You're in a nice straight line. So here I'm feeling the stretch. I tell you, I'm working hard here, and I'm breathing, placing my breaths, and really pulling as close as I can. So second round. So again, I reiterate: try to grab at your ankle if you can, not at your foot. Pulling your foot will eventually, or potentially can damage your ankle joint. So just grab the ankle itself, and bring your heel as close to your bum as you can, and feel the stretch in the front of your leg. To make the stretch a little bigger, if you want to, you can clench your butt. clench your butt cheeks, and the stretch becomes even bigger. Okay, last round, and I've changed side. Still breathing and working hard and feeling the stretch, focusing on the connection I'm getting here on my muscles and my breath. So slowly transitioning on your knees, and again we're going to go into a child pose, because that stretch for the quadriceps can be a little tough on the lower back. I know it is for me, so I like to give it a good stretch afterwards on the lower back. And again, I'm adjusting my arms, and here I'm pushing my palms down into the floor, really pushing down, and that opens up the top of the shoulders, between the shoulder blades. It's a great stretch. So you're working lower back and upper back doing that. One last time, just I feel I need a lot of stretching on my calves. I've been jumping around on hard floors the past couple of days, so my calves were a bit tight. So extra stretch there. My head is between my arms as much as I can. Okay. And just to finish, I like to again just make myself as tall as I can. Just finishing the way we started. Pulling your feet away in one direction and your hands are pulling in the opposite direction, so you're lengthening that spine as much as you can. Steadily breathing throughout, so my hands and my arms are going away, past my head, and my feet are going away, in the opposite direction, making myself as tall as I can on the floor, and then releasing, and then I do the alternating side. So here I'm pulling my right arm behind you and my left leg in front of me. So I'm doing this diagonal stretch. It's really good to work on the hips. And then changing sides. So I'm pulling this time my left arm behind me as far as I can, and my right leg is going as far as I can. Both working in opposite directions, lengthening the body, releasing tensions in the back. Just a lateral movement I like to do just to mobilize the hips and releasing tension in the lower back, and just this little pelvic sort of tilt. So upper body on the floor, and it's not like a bridge, but it's just the beginning of a bridge. Just tilting your pelvis forward, lifting your lower back on the floor, just like slow movements. And for me, really nice. It's a nice relaxing movement. And to finish, just our relaxing and self-massaging pose, just relaxing and releasing tensions in the lower back. So your whole head and shoulders stay on the floor for this one. And just slowly rotate out, and that's it, folks. That's a 30-minute stretch. Please do that as often as you can. Thank you.